Hello, Dr. Mike. Good morning. I am Maria Patricia, and this is my submission for my assignment. This is the video submission for the professional dispositions of learners. I probably mispronounced that. I apologize. Sometimes it's a little difficult for me to talk on camera, as I'm sure it is for many of us. The purpose of this is just to show you my understanding. Hopefully my rambling doesn't overshadow what I have learned and my knowledge. Let me just make sure I have this here. I'm trying to make sure I have everything in front of me. I've looked it over, but I just want to make sure I have all the T's crossed and I's dotted. So the ones I think that I possess is that I'm fair and I'm very good at reflecting. I'm good at looking back to see what I could have done better and working with my students in that way, because there are times where I really feel that I might have done something wrong. And looking back, I see how I can improve. I'm always one to look back, because otherwise I just feel like I get stuck in a rut. I get stuck in really bad headspace. So reflection, I feel, is something, and being fair. Even if my students don't see it, I get told that, well, you let this student that and not me do this, and I want to avoid that. So I try to be fair in every situation, try not playing favorites, because it's, as I said, and I'm in a classroom of 10 kids, sometimes it can be perceived that way. So I just try to keep everything fair across the board. And, again, there are case-by-case situations. I'm not trying to talk about those, but for majority of things and things that are not case-by-case, I try to keep things across the board. And then just being dedicated, I feel I am. There are those times when I just want to stay curled in bed. I live in the Midwest. We went from pretty decent temperatures to 17 degrees. So there are the times after a tough day, specifically in these seasons, that I just want to stay in bed and, I had a really tough day. So I try to stay strong and dedicated and keep going, because there are those days, and, sometimes you get a little blue during the gloomier times and your emotions really do get to you, but you realize what you're really doing this for. You're doing this for the students, and outside of there, I'm doing that for my kids. You don't take a day off after a hard day. You go head first. You go do it, because usually in my instances, after one of those tough days, the next day is always so much better. The dust is cleared, the storm is over, there's calm, a sense of peace. So in order for that to happen, you need to be dedicated to just keep showing up, even when you don't want to. Something I really want to work on, even though I feel I am pretty good at this, but it is my professional conduct. I never want to leave any questions, any gaps, any of well, look what she did for that student, or she talks outside of here with her students. I know this isn't so much the case in elementary, but in high school, there are times that this does happen. Not on my end. I don't want to say so much on my end, not on my end, but I have seen other teachers doing that, and that's not right. There's emails, there's, parents or guardians, a lot of times in my cases, that we work with. We don't bring our business outside of there, because lines can be crossed and you don't even know it. So that's something I want to continue on working on and just being really strong on, because I always want to be professional in this, because this is something I'm in for the long haul. And the curiosity, because I feel sometimes we get stuck in our ways. We get impatient. I always want to explore curiosities with my students. I always want them to be passionate about learning as I am. So I want to learn, instead of being rushing through something, I really want to work on it and harbor those interests for my students. Qualities that we need to display, we need to be professional at all times. We need to have love and respect for the profession. And this is something that we need, because if we don't have it, what's the purpose of working in education? You see some of those people that, why are you in this? We can't focus on them. We need to focus on ourselves and those around us that we can help. We need to, carry so much, integrity and respect, because at the end of the day, if we don't, we're not gonna be successful in our profession. We won't be successful in our classrooms. I hope that I show that I have some knowledge on this. I've really been working hard to know the definitions, knowledge, and where I can improve and what I'm already good at. Thank you for your time.